Hello there, and welcome to a new month in the year 2022. It is the first day of November 2022, and I'm saying a big thank you to you for staying faithful to your screen and, of course, for joining me on another interesting episode of the newspaper review here on TAP TV. My name is Cyril Aloysius, and, of course, doing the papers with me today, as usual, as always, is a very regular face here. That's Mr. Victor Siokusa. You're very much welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks so much for stopping by.
Good to have you.
Yes, and today we have so much interesting headlines here for you. We're starting first with the Daily Sun newspaper, where we have on page 6. This one says Abuja terrorism alert. Abuja terrorism alert. FG confirms suspects arrest. FG confirms suspects arrest. Says security concerns raised by US and UK being addressed. Urges Nigerians to go about businesses without fear. Okay, that's on page 6 of Daily Sun. On page 26, we have Buhari warns police against unprofessional conduct during elections. Buhari warns police against unprofessional conduct during elections. Reiterates commitment to credible election. That's on page 26 of Daily Sun. And on page 6, again, we have Atiku mocks Tinubu over visit to Fasoranti. Okay, that's on page 6 of Daily Sun. And on page 2, we have letter of credit saga. Yerima seeks FG support for air peace. Letter of credit saga. Yerima seeks FG support for air peace. And on page 4, we have my salary stopped for exposing corruption at Finance Ministry, claims female staff. My salary stopped for exposing corruption at Finance Ministry, claims female staff. Okay, that's on page 4. You want more details on those headlines you heard? Get a copy of the Daily Sun. And on page 28, we have Obi disowns manifesto in circulation. Says it's not approved. That's on page 28 of Daily Sun. Obi disowns manifesto in circulation. Says it's not approved. That's on page 28. On page 6, again, we have herdsmen list conditions for peace in communities. Herdsmen list conditions for peace in communities. Demand gazetting of 415 grazing reserves. Okay, and on page 26, we have Uzodinma 6 mandatory oath taken by candidates against violence. Uzodinma 6 mandatory oath taken by candidates against violence. That's on page 26. And lastly, on page 3 of the Daily Sun, we have stay off execution. Nnamdi Kanu heads to Supreme Court. Stay off execution. Nnamdi Kanu heads to Supreme Court. That's on page 3 of Daily Sun. Okay, that's the much we can take in the Daily Sun for today. Mr. Victor, which of the headlines would you want to talk about?
Well, before I head into the headline, I want to send my condolences to the Adeleke's family. That's Davido. The news coming in this morning.
It's a sad one.
Really a sad one. I think the news went across Nigeria and people are really, really, really sad. If you go into the internet space, you find out that there is a whole lot of quietness, calm and sadness happening all together on our internet space. And it's really, really a terrible one because come to think of it, the father and the mother had to make a trip out of Lagos. Okay. And just like that, they got the news that their son
had
drowned. So you begin to wonder, how did it happen? Okay, now, just about this time
of... He pays these workers in his house to look after this young man, and just a few seconds is not around, and it's a sad one. It's
really sad, and because
sincerely, I see this affecting him psychologically.
Oh, sure. Do you know what it means to lose your child?
The music sense.
Yes. Do you know what it means? Your child of just 3 years, as innocent as a 3-year-old boy. It's really sad. I don't know how they will come out of this. Yes, it happened to Dibanj the other time, and if you notice, this kind of situation might last for eternity for them.
And the young man, the deceased, looked like he was the only person keeping
That
the
relationship.
relationship going between
Yeah.
Davido and Shoma.
Yes.
So right now
yes.
that he's no
So
more,
it's the bond.
I fear for the worst for Davido and Shoma. If
Well,
I don't know.
for me, that one is elementary. The main
Yeah.
thing is that a life has been lost. Okay, an innocent life. And you ask, okay, what are the things that they are supposed to do to curb actions like this? Now, they have a pool outside their house, okay? It is not a crime to have a pool, but it will be, will I say, so disturbing that you do not have measures in your house to guide your kids around the pool. Okay? Yes, some persons should be like, we don't need to put iron bars right around the pools because of what? It defaces most pools when you put bars around it, okay? But see, when it comes to life, you forget about
like
designs
or
such.
Yes,
like
that,
especially when you have kids in the house.
Yes.
Yes, but you'll be like, man, this house is fully covered in terms of CCTV, in terms of workers in the house. Okay, but mind you, okay, what about even doors? There is no how that he will not have bulletproof doors in that house, or if not bulletproof, he might have bulletproof doors, or even hard doors. These doors is a 3-year-old. A 3-year-old, you can't tell me that a 3-year-old can open and exit door from a house. So you now keep wondering, where were the workers? Was this arranged? You ask that question. Yes, right now,
so
about 9
questions are being asked right now, sincerely speaking.
Yeah.
And I sincerely fear for the worst. I think yes, the arresting of the
domestic workers, about 9 of them. 9? And you wonder.
I wonder what the excuse is going to be right now. Now that the young man is dead, I wonder what the excuse is. I mean, I left this young man with you. I pay you to look after this young man just for some days. I'm away. What went wrong?
The mom will be going mad right now because she'll be like, why did I travel without my child? And people out there, see, this calls for another, will I say, a debate when
whether or not parents should travel without their children or not.
Yes,
right?
now, yes, it will call for a debate, but come to think of it, too, parents are also to have their lives. Okay, you should have some time away from your kids.
Yes,
it's not a bad thing, especially for a buoyant family like theirs.
Just that because you have a child doesn't mean, I mean, you
cannot enjoy other things of life.
Yes.
That you cannot travel and do all that for yourself. So it's really painful, and my heart goes out to the family.
Yes,
in this troubling time.
Our heart goes out to the troubling family.
Yeah.
Please take heart, Davido. So,
then a bit on the paper, our president, the Ajala traveler, has traveled again. Okay? It has happened again. In fact, it's no longer shock to us. Because if you go back, even
on page 27, that's Buhari just out.
Ajala the traveler has traveled again.
Check in London.
It is not a bad thing to be ill. It is not a bad thing to be ill. It is not a bad thing to be ill, Mr. Cyril. But the problem with this government is that how can you, for the 8 years that you've been in leadership, you've done more than 8 to 9 months, between 8 to 9 months, in traveling, just to travel outside the country, not just on business trip or economical trips, guy, for medical trips, and you just keep wondering. Okay, let me take you aback. In 2017, Aisha Buhari, the wife of the president, came out publicly in all public scenario, came out to say, see, the Villa Hospital, as that's the Aso Rock Villa, the presidential hospital that we have, that a common paracetamol as at that time was not there, but they will be taking budgets. What you are seeing is they are building stuffs, but the core responsibility of the hospital is not being taken care of. They don't have, as at that time, they don't have an X-ray machine, they don't have common syringe, they don't have paracetamol. Then you ask, why wouldn't the president just be traveling up and down for medical? Then you ask, is he not the leader? And you, oh God, as at that time, they were releasing 3 billion naira from the budget. And they were just busy doing physical structures. Bro, this is Nigeria. And I know what happens when, see, oh gosh, this is not the topic, this is not where I want to head. But see, in this country, many a times when they budget for something, these guys tend to do projects like building. Because why? It is the easiest avenue to siphon money.
To loot. Okay.
Very easy to use construction. So you now be asking, why are you building all these gigantic building with empty drugs? No, the essential item that is needed in a hospital, you do not have. You are there raising structures and raising structures. Up to last year, they released 10 billion naira for Aso Villa Hospital. Another, oh my goodness God.
As the president, isn't he supposed to make sure to oversee that project and make sure that that particular project is completed as it should?
Then you ask, is 10 billion naira not enough to say, okay, President, we are building a 4-bedroom hospital for you.
Don't travel out again.
Don't travel. Carry that doctor. That doctor you are going to visit.
Bring him here.
Let him be coming. As you are going for this medical trip, tell them, which machine are you going inside that we cannot bring in this country and install in that your hospital, just your own. President Buhari's hospital. Nobody should enter. Only you. My brother. Total wastage. That's how he's traveling. It is well.
Okay. Let's take a look at our next paper for the day, which is the Vanguard newspaper. And we have some other interesting headlines here on page 5. This one says, UK-US terror alert on needed. Situation not so bad. That's according to NSA. UK-US terror alert on needed. Situation not so bad, according to NSA on page 5. And on page 4, we have gas flaring. FG targets $1 billion revenue from sale of 50 gas clusters. That's according to investigation. That's on page 4 of the Vanguard. On page 12, we have, despite challenges, Buhari liberated more Nigerians from poverty, according to federal government. Wow. Despite challenges, Buhari liberated more Nigerians from poverty, according to federal government. Okay, that's on page 12. On page 27, we have 2023 polls. You should remain politically neutral. Buhari tells police. You should remain politically neutral. That's Buhari telling the police on page 27 of the Vanguard. On page 11, we have Obi disowns Labour Party's manifesto in circulation. Says it's not approved. That's on page 11 of the Vanguard. On page 6, we have terrorists kidnap 10 in Zamfara, demand 20 million naira ransom. Terrorists kidnap 10 in Zamfara and demand 20 million naira ransom. That's on page 6. On page 12, we have Miyeti Allah. Miyeti Allah accuses Autumn of criminal profiling of members, demands investigation. Miyeti Allah accuses Autumn of criminal profiling of members and demands investigation. That's on page 12. On page 9, we have 2023. PDP will win all elections in Rivers. Articles victory uncertain, according to Wike on page 9. And on page 4, we have energy transition. Federal government seeks global support for Nigeria's $1.9 trillion plan, on page 4. And lastly, on page 8, we have Fitch poll. Others fake. We will spring surprise in 2023, says NNPP. That's on page 8 of the Vanguard. Okay, that's the much you can take in the Vanguard newspaper. You want more details on the headlines you just heard? Get a copy of the Vanguard for yourself. Mr. Victor, which of these headlines would you want to react to?
Okay, I want to do a bit of Wike, okay? But before, from there I'll link up to other political parties, what is happening, okay? So PDP, we do PDP, Labour Party, and APC, but in a very quick one. Now, Wike has come out to say that the PDP will win all state elections, but he does not know whether Atiku will win. He's uncertain. Yeah, he used the word uncertain, whether Atiku will win in Rivers State. Okay. Mind you, he also came out on the papers, in the public space, to make mention of somebody here, Sekibo.
Do you really think Wike was just... Do you really think he meant what he said, or he was just saying it for saying sake? Saying that he doesn't know if Atiku is going to win or something like that? Like based on the issue right now between the both of them, do you feel like he's just saying it or saying sake, or he means exactly what he said.
They are plotting against Atiku, no two ways about that. Look at the G5. The G5, they are also, they had a meeting in Ibadan. They want to have another one in Turkey. So they are really plotting. What are they plotting for? That's the G5 of Makinde, Autumn, oh my God, that's the state governor. Mr. Victor. Wike and Ugwai, that's Victor Ibasuna. Then Wike, then you have Enugu governor. That's the Ugwai, which he has his own his nickname, but I will not mention it here. So for Wike to come out, he's been reiterating about that. But I have an issue with him right now because he is going after any Rivers State politician that is against him. He's going after any Rivers politician that is for Atiku. He has come out again. He's going hard on Sekibo. Sekibo is the current campaign chairman for Atiku.
But why is he doing that? Is he expecting everybody to be on his side?
You ask me.
That.
I wonder.
We are in a democratic
and
society.
Politics is a game of interest, just like his own.
Yes, so
he has his interest. People, other persons have their interest.
Just because they are not on your side. Especially when they are in the same party with you. Come on.
So what is he saying? That he's regretting the contrast that he gave to Sekibo.
Wow.
When they were in good times.
Wow.
Like the same feeling of the Okreka waters.
So that clearly tells you that everything he has been doing, he did it with pure, should I say, interest. You know, he didn't do it with a clear mind. He did it with something behind. Say, okay, futuristically, this is what I stand to gain by doing this.
And that is how to tell you that how these guys give out contracts. They don't give out contracts by merit. They just give it by their political allies.
Okay.
Because if you go check it down very well, you might find out that, see, even the Sekibo that he gave the contract, you might go there, maybe it's inflated or they are not doing the job well or they are lagging in time. Are you getting me? So, and on a normal basis, there should be an open space, open opportunity for people to come and freely bid for contracts. But in Rivers State, in many cases, these contracts, they do it behind the scene and they give it to their allies. Okay, well, like I said, I don't want to dwell so much on just one party. So for the Labour Party, just yesterday, the candidate of the Labour Party, P2B, came out to say that the manifesto that was released, that he did not approve the releasing of that manifesto, that it was just a draft. What happened? Even your reporter wrote about it, Bethlehem on tavmedia.com, that she got the manifesto from the website. Okay? But by the time she came back, after P2B announced it that manifesto is not it's not approved by him, that he should be given time to release the manifesto. The website of the Labour Party, that's their main website, okay, dropped down that manifesto.
Which now leads me to ask, why would a party release a manifesto that has not been approved?
Okay, now the signs of lack of communication is happening here. Okay, of not being organized, of not having that full synergy. So P2B is now saying that I'm the one that will release it, not through the party. Okay, which is okay, but now the question is why would you guys, you want to be in government, you are saying that you are prepared for government. Why are you now having these gaps in communication among yourselves?
From now, this early?
Yes. So that's the question. Okay? Why for Tinubu? Tinubu right now is resting from his visit over the weekend from visiting the former leader of Afenifere. Okay? That's a Fashoranti. But something also has come up since Buhari has gone for medical trips. Now I'm asking. This is my own question. And I ask, on the space, it is perceived that Tinubu is unhealthy. It is perceived that Tinubu has an ailment. I am not here to say whether he has or not, but it's perceived, okay? Then I ask, these politicians, especially these three top opponents, is it not rightful of Nigerians to ask them for their medical reports?
Yes, because you don't expect a man who really wants to get power to come and tell you, I'm not healthy. You don't expect that.
And mind you, these people come from this from the side that they are coming to serve Nigerians.
Nigeria. Okay.
Then I ask, in your houses or in our houses, when you are employing a domestic staff, it is now a prerequisite for that domestic staff to submit
his
medical reports.
Let me know how healthy you are.
Yes.
Should in case tomorrow you start coming up with issues of health, this and that, health complaints.
Or maybe you now cough one cough that is scattered my house.
Exactly.
You think that we do not have the right to ask this servant, these so-called servants, to show us the medical reports before we know who we will say, okay, come and serve.
Okay.
That is the problem of Nigeria. And they will, the so-called servants that are emperors will come out and be dodging all those things. And tomorrow, an emperor will now come in to sit and you ask him question, how dare you? They will send EFCC, send every person, every apparatus to you and they will knock you down. My brother, that is the nation for you. Thank you, sir.
All right. Still on the newspaper review here on TAP TV. Thank you so much for sticking with us till this time. But before we go straight to our next paper, we'll go on a short break. And when we return, more newspaper headlines coming your way. Do stay tuned.
Now that you have registered for your PVC, it doesn't stop there. Ensure you pick up your PVC. Be alert. Join many Nigerians to vote credible leaders that will change the tide of this nation. Do not sell your vote. Remember, this is our future. Your vote is your voice.
This message is proudly brought to you by Thav Media Limited.
This is still the newspaper review here on TAP TV, and I'm saying thank you and welcome back from that short break. Taking a look now at this day newspaper, where we have some more interesting headlines. This one says, NSA, Nigeria not under any heightened sense of insecurity. NSA, Nigeria not under any heightened sense of insecurity. Okay. Another interesting headline here says, Buhari to police. Buhari, police must remain apolitical, ensure peaceful 2023 polls. Recommits to free, fair elections, wants Nigerians to elect their choice. On page 10 on this day we have FG tightens measures against Ebola outbreak. FG tightens measures against Ebola outbreak on page 10 of this day. On page 14 of this day, 44, I beg your pardon, of this day we have Kwankwaso, I sold my properties to sponsor 3,000 students, local, overseas. Says I sold my properties to sponsor 3,000 students, local, overseas. That's on page 44 of this day. And next we have China Harbour completes construction of $1.5 billion Lekki deep sea port. China Harbour completes construction of $1.5 billion Lekki deep sea port. Sanwo-Olu vows to provide transport infrastructure. Okay, that's the much we can take in this time newspaper. You want more details on the headline you just had? Get a copy of the papers for yourself. Mr. Victor, which of these headlines would you want to talk about?
Man, let's celebrate Lagos State, not just only Lagos State, the Federal Republic of Nigeria, because the deep sea port, the Lekki deep sea port, is a project of the federal government. But yes, situated in Lagos, meaning that, man, it will bring a whole sum of money to the economy of Lagos. In fact, it is estimated that it will be bringing in, it will be raking in, the project will be raking in $200 billion worth of revenue.
Wow.
Sweet Lord. And the project is a very strategic one because, mind you, Lagos is congested. And from the Tinkan port, it is no-go area anymore. Okay, there are a whole lot of issues with traffic over there. Okay, but this time around, they are bringing it to a more, will I say, scantier area. That's the Epe, the Ibeju-Lekki zone. Okay, but yes, if they don't also take time, if they don't expand on the roads and infrastructure that they have around there, it might be too choky for them because this is a mega project. Now, we have the tin can. Okay, I'm talking about from the will I say from the ocean lines. That's the Atlantic Ocean lines. Okay, from the shores of Lagos, you first have the tin can. So you do about let's say about 80% of the journey from the tin can to you get the deep sea port. Then you get Dangote. Although Dangote has his port and also has this refinery just not so far from each other. So that's to tell you that, see, the corridor around Lagos will bring in so much investment to the federation. Okay, let me not go party lines. I wanted to bring some politics to this, but no, this is not about politics right now. Okay, so the deep sea port has, in fact, it will be the largest seaport in West Africa at least, meaning that it will be our largest seaport in Nigeria.
Okay.
And this is just the first phase. Okay, this first phase will be about containers. Okay, it will carry about 4 million tons of containers, and it has a depth of 16.5 meters. Okay, meaning that this is big news for the country. It will also, the second phase will come with the liquid bulk area, where we just have, you can bring in diesel, you can bring in our petroleum products through that when they go into the second phase. Okay, then they will also have the third phase, which will be about a dry bulk. To just be about dry bulk logistics, meaning that we'll have silos there. People can bring in their farm products there, and it is all encompassing. Powerful project, I must say. And what is this going to bring around that Ibeju, Lekki, Epe zone? Investment. In fact, right now, if you have money to go buy land around that zone, I bet you it will yield fruits for you. That is if you also buy from the right person, because Nigeria property is oh my God, that is not what we need to talk about right now. But yes, one needs to also be careful. The Lagos government have said that they are going to make 6-lane road around that region. Already, hospitals, businesses, schools, people have gone into that sector, that area of Lagos, to pull out some kind of investment, and I'm just so will I say so happy with the people of that area, the Lagosians, the Ebe people, the Ambode people, because they are going to reap so much from this project. Okay. Kudos to the government on that.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Victor, for your time with me on the program for today. I really do appreciate you stopping by once again.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for stopping by. And also thank you so much too for you, my wonderful viewers, who have been faithful to your screen up until this time. Without you, we would not be here. But unfortunately, this is where we have to draw the curtain on the newspaper review for today. My name is Cyril Aloysius, and please don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms, and of course subscribe to this channel. You can check us out on YouTube, we're at Tab TV, on Instagram, we're at Tab TV_NG, on Facebook, we're at Tab TV, and on Twitter, we're at Tab TV. Till I come your way again next time, do enjoy the rest of the day. It's bye for now.